Hey everyone, do you know how to properly connect electrical wires to ensure both safety and security? There are many widely shared wiring methods out there, but they're not actually good, yet many people still follow them. If you encounter a situation like this, don't worry. Let me think for a moment. Okay, I just came up with this idea. First step, if you come across a wire that is partially broken like this, just cut it completely apart so it will be easier to handle. Next, I'll use a knife to separate a section of the outer insulating plastic layer so it becomes easier to work with the wire ends of the two electrical wires inside. After completing the first step, we then proceed to strip a section of insulation from both ends of the wire to expose the copper core inside, in preparation for the subsequent wiring connection. This is soldering flux paste, one of the essential things used to support the soldering method for joining the copper cores of two electrical wires. It helps make the soldering process smoother, supports solder spreading more evenly across the copper surface, and helps create a cleaner, neater, and easier connection during the joining process. And this portable power outlet, which is not connected to a power source, will act as a tool to hold the plug in place, making the wire connection process easier to handle. The two small wires of the severed plug have been soldered together. The other broken wire will have its small wires treated in a similar way to facilitate this connection step. So now, the small wire ends of the two broken wire sections have been soldered at the ends. Next, we'll begin soldering the two copper cores together right away. And after soldering the 4 copper wire ends of these 2 electrical wire sections together, we will wrap electrical insulating tape around the 2 exposed areas to replace the insulation layer that was left exposed. So, we've just finished handling the first insulation layer of the 2 wire sections. The final step is to make the outer insulation layer that covers the 2 processed wire sections to make them more secure and neater. And with this thread, I'll wrap it around the exposed wire sections while applying glue so the thread stays in place. The nice thing about this trick is that it gives the outside a cleaner look, helps hold the repaired section more firmly, and makes the wire feel more neatly finished overall. And we're not stopping here. After finishing the previous step, I'll wrap an extra layer of electrical tape so the surface feels smoother to hold, making it easier to move around and helping reduce snagging on the wire. Okay, so all the steps have been completed correctly according to the procedure. Now, without further delay, I'll take it out and test it in real-world conditions to see how the results are after processing. Pay attention to this. If the indicator light on this charger changes color when I connect it to the power source, that means this trick has worked successfully. As we can all see here, the dedicated charger changed color after I connected the repaired power cable plug to the power source, which means we've succeeded. Don't be surprised here. The indicator light doesn't actually turn off because there's still some residual electricity inside the adapter after it's disconnected from the power source. If that's still not convincing enough, I'll do another experiment for you to see. This final test is to check whether that adapter is cheating or not. If it turns red when connected to the universal battery terminal, that means there is a charging signal, which also suggests that the repaired wire does not have any issues. There's no doubt about it, the effectiveness is immeasurable. As you just saw, from a broken piece of wire that seemed unusable with careful handling, from stripping the insulation, soldering the copper core, reinforcing the outer protection, to actual testing, everything is working perfectly again. The great thing about this trick is not only that it repairs a piece of wire, but also that it makes everything neater, more secure, and more convenient to use. If you ever encounter a similar situation, hopefully this method will be helpful to you.